Market Mondays, we are back. A little bit of a break from YouTube, no wallet weekend, but here we are, Market Monday, your content schedule, aka Team of the Week, Angry Runs, which is just an extra card for Team of the Week, essentially, Most Feared Part 2, and Legends. So we're going to take this, and then the MCS stream is going to be on Wednesday. We're going to take this promo by promo, starting out with aka the two cards we got today, Cornelius, Biscuit, Bennett, a pretty fast pass rushing outside linebacker for your Bills team, and then the big name Odell Beckham Jr., also known as OBJ, 91 speed, 5'11", on a plethora of different teams. He gets his AKA, and well, these cards are expensive. Cornelius Bennett around 850, Odell Beckham Jr. around 900,000 coins. Very, very expensive cards, and well, the 87 market, at least of the AKAs, has gone to the moon. These cards are now all the way up to around 170k after being really 95 to 105k the past week. If you had been saving your 87 AKAs that you didn't really sell on Thursday like I did, I saved around half of my AK 87s, which ended up resulting in 9 OBJs being built. Sold those guys off. You definitely made a pretty penny. This was probably the best AKA pre-building I can remember from, at least for this year. If you want extended coverage of the market and how I make my coins, subscribe to the Coin Bible exclusively on Team Get Lucky, link in the description. Next up for Team of the Week, I don't see that much of an opportunity this week with your Team of the Week, just because one, the 87s are only going for 100k, which is definitely a decent price tag, but I think more importantly, the 83 overall Team of the Weeks are going for like 20 to 25k right now, so you'd be pre-building for, you know, 525k. It's pretty expensive. I think the best thing you can do with Team of the Week content is buy the Team of the Week 87s like that Wednesday night or Thursday morning, and also maybe pick up some champions on Wednesday afternoon when the content drops, because they usually drop and then rebound over the weekend. But I don't know if we're getting too many good Team of the Week players this week, maybe Travis Etienne, but I don't know the defensive player. Your MCS stream this week is going to be, I think it says, yes, 3:30 p.m. West Coast time, 6:30 p.m. East Coast time. You only have to watch this stream for 2 hours to get the Isaiah Palamau, who also will get that most feared team chemistry. Gonna be one of the best safeties in the game. Make sure you have all your stuff linked and ready for the Wednesday afternoon stream, where we also will be getting the Most Feared Part 2 reveals. But speaking of Most Feared Part 2, how are we prepping for the reveal, for the release on Thursday, reveal Wednesday afternoon, as I just said? But 87 overall, as you can see from the binder, we already have quite a few 87 overalls. I think it was always going to be, hey, we're going to rebuy 87s, but what price? What's the thought process behind them? And then what's the little conspiracy behind the Most Feared Part 2 program? Because we don't really know if we're getting 4. We know we're getting 4 Most Feared champions guaranteed, but are we getting the 8, right? Are we getting the 4 Arcana champions this Thursday to make it to where we're getting another 8 champions for this release for Part 2? Now, I'll say this with the Arcana challenges. We don't have enough solos right now. It says you have to get 125 for the objectives. We only have 50 stars available. I'm assuming we get 50 stars per every Most Feared release. That would be, of course, 3 releases, Arcana solos, Arcana players coming with those solos. More than likely, I'm under the assumption that we are going to be getting Arcana champions and Most Feared champions every single week, which would mean, again, another 8 Most Feared champions. If you didn't pay attention to the Most Feared market or the 87 market, the Most Feared stuff this past week, 87 overalls were really viable from like 95 to 105k leading up to the Most Feared reveal. Cards came out, weren't that good, but yet the Most Feared, or the 87 overall, still went to around 120 to 125k throughout most of Thursday, and you were able to make a pretty profit. Or if you're like me, I held some of those players for this week, as well as the AKA investing. But now, that's last week. Let's talk about this week. 87 overalls, what is my target price? It is 90,000 coins. I will say, I already have a lot in my binder, and that's because this weekend was very, very easy to buy these cards, because there was a legend topper giving out 87s, Most Feared 87s were flying. A little bit tougher right now to buy at 90k, but, you know, it's easily doable. Your best friend, your best filters are probably going to be Most Feared, Legend, and Unstoppable, aka kind of out of the picture, with their market being a little bit inflated right now. But 90k is my buy price. If you want to talk about super lazy sell price while you hold these cards in your binder, 110k, 115k would be that, where you're making 10 to 15k per card if they do sell. Again, buying these for 90k, especially Most Feared, since they can technically pre-build the entire sets, right? Not only the Most Feared champions, but the Arcana champions as well. You're building these sets for 450k, and if we get, again, that 8 most feared 90 champions, we can't really get worse than last week. Like, I would say last week we had 2 A-tier players in Marshawn Lynch and Avonte Maddox. No real S-tier players. We're way overdue a middle linebacker with lurk artists, even an outside linebacker with lurk artists that is at an affordable, that is a non-LTD. We're probably going to get some type of quarterback this week since we didn't get one last week. A lot of players, man. If we get like a Tariq Woolen, a Justin Jefferson, pre-building these things for 450k to me seems just really, really cheap, especially when the most feared guys last week weren't that good, and they went for, like, some of the good ones in the beginning went for 550k. And, well, now they're going for 400, 350, but that's because, you know, the market always comes back down as the players stay in packs and stay in the game longer. They're going to drop in price. But the new cards, man, if we get some really good most feared champions, these 87s should be, I mean, it's not like the ceiling is that high, because a lot of people are going to be investing these, and, you know, they can't really go to, like, 130, 140 unless we just get god-tier players. But I think buying these things for 90k could pretty reasonably expect to sell these back for like 110, 115. That's really all I'm hoping for. Making my 10 to 15k profit after tax per card is really, really good. So yeah, 87 overalls, buying under 90,000 coins, legends, unstoppables, most fears, and then potentially team of the weeks on Wednesday. Honestly, I'm probably rooting for a mid team of the week. That way I can buy some 87 team of the weeks for cheap, but 87 overall most feared, that's really the investment. You can buy as many as you want. It's really up to you. I already have a lot, probably going to buy a few more. My average price is like 88k, so I feel really comfortable with what I've got in my binder. Fingers crossed on Wednesday that we get some really, really good champions. And finally, your legends on Saturday. This really isn't anything we're doing right now. This is more to brag. We finally hit on the pre-building legends, man. It took like a month of buying the little pieces, man. We were buying the 80s, the 83s for the 89s. Those never really panned out because we got like a jump to 90 overalls a little bit sooner than expected. Then was buying, you know, over the past week, buying 84 overalls for under 30k and buying 81s for under like 6,000 coins. And we finally got the 87 special offer that made the Revis and the Lincoln Kennedy 87 relatively affordable. I was able to pre-build the sets and make like 100 to 150k per set, which felt really, really good because I had a ton of 81s and 84s in my binder, and it's going to be something we do moving forward, although now it's kind of out of the question because the 81s are still 10k, 84s are like 35k, and I'm only going to buy them if they could go back down to 6k and 30k respectively. The only issue there is probably not going to see another 87 special offer, rather probably an 84 special offer this weekend, so maybe, hey, this weekend is the time to restock up on 81s and 84s for 90 overall legends, because we still have 2 more 90 overall legend releases if we get the planned 2 more most feared 90 overall releases. And last but not least, your LTDs, Cody Whitehair and Von Miller most feared, also Derwin James. Now, I have sold all of the LTDs in my binder. Something I have really noticed on LTD investments this year is you can tell, and like selling these cards 24 hours after they're removed from packs is almost the way to go. You can easily tell, again, like if they're gonna go up in price the minute they go out of packs. Cody Whitehair was 450, 475. You snap your fingers, he was out of packs, he was up to 550, eventually up to 600k. I took my profit and I ran with it, and especially because LTDs don't really sell that well during the middle of the week. They're more like weekend sales because that's when people buy their teams. Most people are online on the game. But LTDs moving forward, I think I'm going to start doing this more often. Like, I buy these cards and like I sell them the day they're out of packs, essentially, or the next day. Because you get that 24-hour spike and then they kind of just sit and stay. And sometimes you like, if you want them to go up even more, you got to wait like a week or two. And that's always risky with EA dropping so much content. So just something I wanted to talk about and mention because it's been pretty consistent. Like with Derwin James, bought him for what, 650k first time around. Instantly jumped up to 850, sold him, then he stayed at really 850. Then he went back in packs, went down to 550, 600. Right after he was out of packs, instantly jumped to 700, and then kind of stayed at 700k. So LTDs, their long-term price doesn't really change that much after the first 24 to 48 hours after they're removed from packs. So, you know, holding these LTDs for like 2 to 3 weeks isn't really, you're not really gaining like that much extra coins from holding them for so long. Look to just, you know, I kind of treat them as quick flips, man, really. But that's all for Market Monday. Comment if you have any questions, like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you are new, and until next time, peace.